Welcome back everyone, we are here again in our single player world and we are going to be kicking things off today in our pirate area where we finished off our last episode building a brand new ship in this world. This is the real deal. This is nothing to be messed around with. It's a fairly large one and something which I think is going to be the crown jewel of this area. Now it's time to, in some weird way, put a crown on this ship, and that is going to be the piece of the top of the mast, which is the crow's nest. Basically, it's the lookout point. And I've been coming up with a few thoughts about this because we have run into some troubles with these in the past. Because, you know what? Look at this, right? That one there, it's big, it looks good, but I worry that that might just be a little bit too large for this here. So I'm going to try something a little bit smaller, and if we need to, we're going to go a bit larger than what we are doing here. And the whole thing with this is my one little problem, and it's such a terrible problem, I'm sure. Oh, can I? Nah, I'm just gonna have to do it this way, the good old way. The big problem is that as you go up, you need to have this block empty. But if you're not going too large, what's gonna inevitably happen is, well, you're gonna have to get rid of that block and it's gonna look really, really silly. You'll know what I'm talking about when I show you here. So basically, we just go ahead, pop ourselves one of these in, bam, bam. Well, actually, cancel that. We'll bam, bam, bam this again. And we'll put in some of these, and we should, hopefully, according to my theory, aka me just coming up with a random little design, we should have this looking very good. And this will be the very first point today of the big day, the big decorating ship day. Let's turn around. Ready for it. I nailed that one. Yes, that is exactly what I'm looking for. Now, what I was saying, all right, here's the little explanation. That stair block there needs to be there, but it does block you from actually getting up there. Functionality lacking, I know, but looks-wise, it would look way better than a big fat thing up there. Imagine that pushing it all the way that way. It could work, but we're going to be doing them on these as well. I think those look very good. As I say, if we need them bigger, they can go bigger, but for now, that works perfectly. The temporary scaffolding block of sandstone has actually been a very good game changer for me. It's one click to destroy it all. It is awesome. It's so good, and I've really just got stupid amounts of it. It really is the case. So here is our next task. It is that we need to put in the cross beams that end up holding the sails up. Now, there is a word for it. I do not know the word. It is super important to a lot of people who would use these things, but not to me. I really don't know. And it does the trick. It's the beam that goes across. Simple, elegant, I like it. It works for me. So what we have to do here, and what I'm thinking about doing here, is instead of just putting these straight like this, because here is rookie Jansey versus Jansey that's slightly above that, just a little bit. And that is, yeah, first of all, don't destroy your way back on if you fall off. But that is, I want to go out, what's that, 1, 2, 3 from here, and let's start making this at an angle. And this is something that I think makes these things look super good. If we go out at an angle, we go 3, 2, and then maybe 2 more. Like this. Well, in fact, you know what? It might just be too much. Let's just go 3 and 3, and then we'll go back this way. Go around there, and we go again. We've done 3, and we go 3 again. Now this is going to make these things curved, which is going to mean when we put the sails in, I think we are going to have a little bit of an interesting, an interesting look to it. So let's check this out. Yes, like that. So think of it, the sail's kind of angled. I don't even know what the angled sail is going to do for us. Technically, maybe the boat's going to be spinning in circles, but if we angle the sail, angle these all over here, it means that we don't just have this flat piece that sticks out. It means it's kind of got a bit of detail in it. Welcome back to a place that I have missed, and I am glad to be around here because this is our sheep production or wool production facilities in this world. And by the way, this is Spiritwood, the original city, the first village. We haven't been around here in a little bit. Doesn't look quite as flashy as I remembered it, so we might have to do a few upgrades in the future. But here we go. They're high-tech wool production facilities that was used to build our end area. Now, hi there, sheep. I need you for these, and this is going to be me for the next few I hope not hours, a few minutes, just shearing these because we need to put sails on these cross beams, and there's a few thoughts about that. Do we do big sails completely full? Do we make them a bit tattered? Do we put them wound up? I don't know. I'm not too sure yet. Roughly 30 minutes. That's how long it took to harvest or shear 6 of these right here. 6 full stacks of beautiful, the finest grey wool. And that is where we are at right now. We need to put some of these sails in, and I want to do this at a cool angle. This is where we come to the hopefully not too difficult parts where we say we want a sail pointing out like that as if the wind's sweeping it through, but we also don't want it to just be a shape like that, because that's what so many ships do and get wrong every single time. So what I want to do is I want to head up. Let's go to the center one, and I've measured these out. I've looked at them from all different angles, looked at them from the front, from the side, from the top. Didn't do much for that, but we did it anyway. And now what we need to do is just kind of get to it and see what we can do about it. And I'm also not 100% convinced on this gray, the gray wool. So can we ender pearl like a pro over there? Look at it going down the ladder. And goodbye, my nemesis. I will see you in approximately a minute. So here we go. This is what I'm thinking. So we need to get the shape right. And here is the thing that maybe someone can take something away from. First of all, use shears. We've got them here. Does that help us break it quicker? It certainly does. So up there, we're just going to try work out a neat little shape that from the side looks as though the wind is pulling this towards the front. And then also we want to work out how we're going to do it from the side pieces. So do we pull them in like this or what? But that's for future Jansey to decide. So we need this here. Let's go down a little bit more. Yes. Okay. That looks, I don't know what it looks like from the bottom, but we'll deal with that when we get there. But that looks pretty good, as if it is pulling there. In fact, I almost want this piece to be 1 block higher, because I like to make work for myself. Here is the reason why. If we go out here, we'll remove this one, put another one in there. We'll put one, I think, over there. Yeah, right there. And now when we put this back, I think it's just going to have a much nicer shape. I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll do this again. I don't actually have the blocks that we need, so we can use these as scaffolding. There again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, looking good. So here is what I was thinking, all right? So these go out here. You can see now it bulges upwards. I don't know why. I just feel like it's kind of like a Superman chest, you know, kind of sticking out front of the wind. I don't know how else better to describe it. It just, to me, that just seems the correct way for that to look. So we'll check it out now. Oh, okay, here's the pressure. I did not drop a single one of these when I was busy picking these up. Still not. Beautiful. Look at that. That is what approximately who knows how many years of Minecraft playing gets you there. So down here, too much skyblock actually. That's what that is. Too much skyblock. I'm happy with that. You see, this is the shape right here. Out there, kind of proud looking sail right there. So the next thing that I want to do is come over here, and we want to do the same sort of shape where we pull around like this, but on the side, I want to do it a little bit different. I want to go, for instance, out here. Actually, we can keep these on our hand. Out here like this. And we want to work our way up and into this as well. So we'll have one up there. We'll do the same sort of thing here. And this is where the shape is going to come into it. So if we go out here again, like that, and 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So what we want to see here is a perfect ender pearl to the other side, and yes, that. So it looks as though this is getting pushed out the front, getting pulled forward, which means that pulls in, that pulls in. I feel like a genius right now. This is seriously working out better than I expected. And the last few blocks of the sail planning are complete. And in fact, we're going to probably have that little tattered look to it. I'm kind of holding the suspense until I get a good angle. I think this is going to be the angle right here. Very cool. We can kind of see the way the tattered look could go potentially if we kept a few more gaps in here, let it look a bit more broken down. Although, I do think that full complete flag or sail might be the way to go. How about we step away from the ship just for a little bit? We'll come back. It's not going anywhere, I'll tell you that much. It's anchored in there for good. What I want to show you is our brand new project, and that is the future second town of this little continent that we've got here. Of course, Bluebird's Bay, the pirate town, if you guys don't know, that one over there is, as far as I can tell, with maybe a few more polishing things here and there when we feel it, is done. And I want to move on to the next structure building thing. I love structures, and I love building, and I love things, and this is where we're going to be going in here. And basically what I want to do is I want to get the nature done while we're doing the ship here, so that once we move in, we have the nature around us. We can build the city or the, well, village with everything around it looking beautiful, and then we don't have to worry about having our whole thing built without having pretty things around it. It kind of feels a bit funny when you build something and you're like, well, this looks fantastic. I love it. Now let's move on and not look at it again. So I think this is a cool little way of doing it. I've never done it this way, so may as well. And I'm just loving all these trees going up here as well. So that's a little update on that. And I think it is a fantastic direction that we're going in this area. That over there is this area right in here. And I was waiting because I love this map. I love just looking at it and seeing the way this is shaping out and how these little pieces here are turning up. Now we've got 2 or maybe even 3 maps to update here. So first one, in fact, we'll go to the most boring one. This one right there. Can I please have my map back? Thank you. So this over here has been updated. No trees. Pretty boring. But here, this should go away. You can see we've just updated that little piece. I guess we have to really update this map in here as well. But right over there, bam. How you looking? Looking pretty good, actually. I don't think we are quite in range of it. In fact, maybe if I go out here, you can see us starting to slowly cover that out. I'll do that later. But look at that. All filled in there. Eventually, that's going to be full. That's going to be full. Got this looking a lot cooler there. Now, the big one is the ship. So, can I have that, please? And bam. Look at that. I've got some spoilers on there, actually, to show you guys. But that is looking amazing right now. And here in this little piece here is the spoilers. It's like a skeleton ship. That's what it is right there. So I've gone ahead and just put in the pieces on the side here to give it shape. Oh, look at that. A lucky little trident. I was not expecting that. Thought, you know what? I can see a trident guy around here. Let's see how lucky I am. I'm totally gonna die to something else. Oh man, that's our second trident here. Nothing yet to enchant it with. I think we got a few books lying around, but I knew something was gonna be good around here. We were gonna be lucky at some stage, and there we are. Oh, okay. I have actually spent way too long before this, and I just came around here with the hunch that my sponge was in here. I've put my sponge in the thing with all my random things, for instance, coral and all that stuff, all ocean stuff. And there they are. I knew I had them. I just was getting super worried that I could not find them. Everything has finally broken through and is coming together right now. I have gone ahead and cleared this area out, and it's starting to finally take its shape, which is very, very cool, considering it's been forever that we've been shaping it. Now, oh. So close. Almost made it to land. Look at that right there. Obviously now, because 1.14 and beautiful water mechanics, we can now finally fill in these little gaps in here. I'm not so sure about those water pieces there. Still seems like the game is a little bit broken, but that's all right. The air bubbles underneath the water, that's not a big deal, but that is certainly a step forward. And it's looking super full, super wholesome as I wanted it to be. But it has been a little bit of time since the last clip, and basically I've just been going ahead and saying, hey, this one goes 2 blocks on this side, 2 blocks on that side, just so that we keep the whole thing perfectly symmetrical. Now, I know that there surely is one boogie block sitting out there watching me saying, hey, you don't notice me, and I'm out of place. You know what? We will pick that block up over time, but I think I've done a pretty darn good job to get that all perfectly in place like it should be. And on a side note, I am going to do something which I am not very confident in doing, but perhaps you guys can reaffirm this and perhaps tweak the name a little bit. I decided we need to name this ship. Every ship needs a name. and I was looking around at different ship names and trying to come up with something that sounded cool, kind of spooky because it is a pirate ship. And what I ended up doing was going onto a website to try and generate a name. And I thought, you know, whatever name generates, we'll see what we can do with it and how we can get it to work for us. And what we inevitably came up with through it, which I thought was pretty cool, was the Pillagers Tide. I kind of just took Pillagers and saw that name on there with another one, and I was like, man, this looks like a pretty cool name for a ship, specifically 1.14, right around the corner, Pillagers coming in to wreck our day. I think it's pretty good to go for that. So tell me what you guys think about that. We can go ahead and stick a sticker on it for the next episode, I guess, and see how official it'll be. But that was a pretty neat little idea, at least, and something which I don't really back myself up on too much. So I hope that does do us proud. Ooh, you know what actually might very well do us proud is that this could be at a perfect 45-degree angle. No, don't tell me I just did that. That is horrible. Okay, we'll have to do this. Oh man, I feel so terrible that I did that. Can't believe I stripped wood. All right, go all the way there. I've done so well. I've done so well for so long. Now let's go out here and let's see if it is working. All right, so that is the first little rope, and fences, I think, are the ideal. I'm not 100% convinced on anything else. So what we're going to do now is this is going to be a big changer. When you look at it individually, you're going to say, ew, that looks kind of gross. Why are you doing that? You could totally do a better job at that. I will tell you that this over here, in the grand scheme of things, when everything's working, is going to look amazing. So what we need to do is we need to connect them up there, and then down there. But that one over there, it's not going to exist today because I've got plans to put a sail in there. So we need another sail on the side and a sail on that side. Adding these ropes are the final thing on my list of things for episode number 2 of the shipbuilding. And I can truly say, and with all pun intended and really just a pretty convenient place for it. Ooh, that's a bit of a problem. With a very convenient place to use it, things are now ship shape, and I have not been happier. So that is what we're dealing with right now. Ropes going in, ship looking good, and another episode done. So thank you very much for joining me here today, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.